Chuggalos, welcome back to day 5 of the 2024 Brew Crew Podcast Advent Calendar. Once again, kicking off the day strong, hopefully. I've got an aggregation. Technology has once again changed. I received a video that had a different format, just all stuff that you don't really care about in the background, but know that trying to bring you the highest quality content possible. With that said, today's beer I'm excited for. If you've been a long time Chuggalo, West Coast IPAs are my jam. I like that. Oh God, I love how that shows up. And this comes from Alesmith. Why am I so excited for Alesmith? 2 years ago, Chuggalos Sarah put Alesmith 2012, Alesmith Decadence in our Advent calendar, and it's probably the last 3+ years, probably my favorite beer that I've had. Most memorable outside, and we could argue, JT, I might have to argue with JT on this one. Probably that Tripping Animals from the same year. God, those were just two bangers, and we just happened to pick that. We've got a long form episode of that one. That was the Carriage House episode that we did 2 years ago. And boy, it was just delightful. That Alesmith 2012 Decadence. I've got another bottle of Decadence. It's not quite that old. That's in my my cellar. It was just I have to look it up right now because it's just I should have looked this up, but I can dance at the same time. It just had everyone at a loss for words. It had Chuggalos verklempt, which if you know and you're watching, he's a wordsmith. He's an alesmith. I mean, it's just, listening him talk about an amber ale last night. Yeah, it was a 12%. It was a Belgian quad. So a little bit off the beaten path of like our sweet spots that we have on this podcast. But again, I can't believe that I didn't check into that. There's no way I didn't check into it. I'm going to have to go into it because I just brought up Untapped for it. I probably checked into it wrong or whatever. But I'm going to go with the crack on this one, and it matches. Look at that color schema that it matches with. It's bright, juicy, and citrus. A lot of people pouring this into the glass. I'm just gonna be a simple man and pour it into my gullet. I've updated the spreadsheet, and while I ruminate on this, I'm actually going to start off with something a little bit funny first. So perusing the internet, things get sent to me. This is the first one I want to start everyone off with today. So we're gonna turn off the webcam. We're gonna turn on this. Okay. So this is DUI checkpoint goes sideways, and you'll see why it goes sideways.
No, he's waving his
PlayStation 7!
Nice.
Here you go.
Oh, here you go. Go. Give it to him.
Check if alcohol okay. It's in a count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You had something to drink, bro? Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, sweet. Well, it's just come up with a fail, alright?
Driver's over here, bro.
Best part is they're in Australia. And check the pan. Driver's over on the other side of the car. Terrific. I'm not typically a big TikTok person, but it just happened to be on Reddit, and I thought I would share beer related, probably in Australia. Who knows what they're drinking? Probably everything in Australia wants to kill you, so you probably have to be drunk most of the time, or at least inebriated, or at least socially awoke to be able to live there in that kind of excitement. So while that was going on, I was ruminating on this beer. It's quite good. It's bright, it's juicy, it's citrus. I know JT said it 2 episodes ago, I believe, on day 3, that was like Cobra's, the third leg of the Brew Crew podcast. That was his like buzzword that was overused, and we couldn't have agreed more. I think it's tapered off in recent times, but let's go check out the Alesmith website, because again, we've done them before on the podcast, we've done them before on the calendar. So you can find out more at just alesmith.com. They're out of Southern California. And look at this. Look at this. This is way too busy. How am I supposed to be able to get the event details? I think it's supposed to be because of the play on the Ugly Sweater Party, which is good. And that's actually tonight. So we'd be able to get there in time. I don't think there's a flight leaving. And look at that first beer, that beautiful can. We'll click on that and we're going to go into their story. Look at that, specs. I like it. Serving glass. I'm wondering if everyone will be on a beacher or a beacher. I'm guessing most people will just probably use a pint glass. Spicy nachos pairings. I can't agree more. And it comes in, get this, 16-ounce 6-pack. So a 6-pack of pints. Hell yeah. Like, I'm done with that. Look at that. Look at all the possible, and they've got like a little video. I'm not going to play that, but what I want to learn more about is more about the company. So you go to company, our story, and they're one of the OGs. They've been around since 1995. Consistently ranked in the world's top 10 list on consumer-generated website ratebeer.com. So that's, again, driven kind of like a Rotten Tomatoes. It's driven by the people actually consuming it. Ranked 6th out of 33,000 breweries. I wouldn't have guessed there's that many. It seems like a lot, but hey, who am I to, contradict the fine people at Alesmith? Family-owned and company community-minded. That's a big thing you see with a lot of breweries. Diversity, charity, and desire to deliver world-class beer. Started in 1995. I think JT was like 4 or 5 when that was. Stev wasn't even born. Chuggalo Mikey, he was going bald at the time. I think that's right. Started in Miramar, San Diego, again, Southern California, with a 15 brewer barrel. Trivia question: how big is a brewer barrel right now? I'll give you a pause. I'm going to take a drink. If you can answer this and answer it correctly, and honestly, comment below, and I'll owe you a beer. And if you know anything about me, I pay up my bets. 31 gallons is a brewer barrel. So with a 15 brewer barrel, so 31 gallons, tasting bar office. Then 98, 2002. I like how it's like short and condensed. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to go over it, but I like that it's just, boom, 2008 Small Brewer Company and Brewer of the Year at the Great American Beer Festival. So 2008, 16 years ago, Math in Public. Math checks. Look at that. And now 15,000 brewer barrels per year. Holy shit. And 14 rated best brewer in the world and number 1 brewer in California. Based again on Rate Beer. Again, an aggregator. And again, just increased production. 300 cans per minute. Sorry, Stacy. Incredible. All right. What are my thoughts on this beer? This is right up there in the upper pantheon of, plus it comes in a pint can. It's got that going for it. Of West Coast IPAs, I really like that have that assertive acridness that just, if you have that, it's that West Coast signature. It could be a little bit more dank. It's not perfect by any means. Sometimes the dankness needs to be separated from the citrus. They're harmonizing. But this is quite good. And this would definitely be at 6.8% and a pint can. If I could get this much more frequently, this would definitely be a daily drinker for me. And I would proudly keep this in my fridge. And it would look really great next to a Rheingeist Truth or a Rheingeist Knowledge, the DIPA of the Rheingeist world, or is it Imperial? Either way. I dig this one immensely. This is going to be right up there. Off the top rope, I'm going to give this a 4.75. JT's going to talk about this too. It's tough. When I say West Coasts are my favorite, I have to put that as a caveat. Sour IPAs are probably my favorite, but they're not as common. They're not as frequent and part of the vernacular delineation of IPAs. One thing I do agree with a lot of people is there's an extreme disservice done to West Coast as opposed to New England IPAs. If you just take those two in the pie of IPAs, I'd say it's like a 70-30, but I think West Coast is making a comeback. Hopefully, like with hop contracts and everything, people are planting hops. I remember Cobra was famously told that no one's going to buy Ohio hops. And we just laugh, now because even hop contracts extend all the way to Ohio. So wherever brewers can get a high quality hop product, and the more and more that hops are being created at colleges and being cross pollinated, and different strains are being found every year. Chuggalos This would probably be able to talk 20, 30 years ago. There's probably under 10 different kinds of hops. Now the order of magnitude, many more than that. But enough about what I think about it. Let's go to Team Smokeshow and see what Team Smokeshow has to say.
Day 5, we've got Alesmith Party Tricks WC West Coast IPA. Ready?
Cheers.
With our newly appointed Chuggalos. Repeat sessions here.
Oh,
Yeah?
there's no bitterness.
No.
I'll have to
I like
check.
this
Are
a
they
lot
wearing
better
the same
than
outfits
IPA
that they wear?
as much.
You hate IPAs.
They're just powering
I don't
these
like
down.
IPAs.
I like
this I would
good.
drink.
Sharing is caring.
It's refreshing again, like you said about the last one.
Calling out the other Chuggalos, I would say Pontoon Crushable as a thing. This one is definitely that. You
Yeah.
agree?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's like a little bit of bitter at the very end.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
Is
bitter,
it
but
in the
not
back corner of your tongue?
It's back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not nearly as much as the other ones.
I don't know how much a West Coast is.
Dunkers is incredible with how she can
But
explain.
if it's an IPA, I need it to be more bitter.
Do you get the grapefruit on it?
Luscious
Maybe
Lucas.
the strawberry calms it. This says
He's cut out of the camera
strawberry,
there.
Passion fruity.
Ooh, probably the passion fruit.
I
can
hate
see that.
passion fruit. But this is good.
Yeah, I guess you could see
Score.
I need it to be more bitter, so I could probably only give it like a high 3 or 4.
No. There's decimals. You don't.
I have to do?
Yeah. That's
I'll
too
give
wide
it
of
a
a range.
3.9.
A little more debate on this beer, huh?
I'm sorry, it needs to be more bitter.
I'll give it a 4, but I'm not really good on these ones on IPAs, so.
I give it a
Look at that.
3.75.
4.75. There we
Day
go.
5.
All right, and it's going to go back and play. Very high. I'm going to be right there with them. Again, just, that twinge and that excitement or whatever. There's not much I could do to make this better. I love that it comes in a pint can. I love that it's a West Coast IPA. Off the top rope, again, a 4.75 for me. Again, this would become a shelf or a fridge staple for me. It's just good things come. And Alesmith is typically known for their bigger beers. You don't see it very much, or at least I don't see it. I see it much more commonly in like their stouts, like their Speedway stouts, and and whatnot. So this is a good start. So sorry, Stacy. And one last aggregation of data. Check this out. So now I've got a bunch of different columns. Sethicus is in there. Chuggalo Mikey's been covering our silent partner that's had like 11,000 beers on Untapped. But look at that. So I will give this to the big data expert JT eventually, and he can extrapolate data. But you can look at those scores. I mean, we're down on this. We're down on that Southern Ohio. Everyone made a comment about how that was displeasing to them. Hopefully, try to get all that information in there. But again, all data that I love capturing, and just like capturing these moments with you. But that's it for today's episode, day 5. Alesmith Party Tricks West Coast IPA, 6.8%. Cheers.